Well, Paul, we're back here, sun shining. Last time you left this ground on May the 6th as well, the sun shining that day as well.
Yeah, I think it was even hotter the day we played Boreham Wood than it probably is today. But no, short break again. Certainly from the staff's point of view, lots of work been done during the during the off season as well. And the lads have come back today and sort of put in a good shift for the first session.
Talking about the work that you've done off season, for you it never stops. And talking to the three players that you've signed today, Charlie Clough, Dale Bennett and Dan Wishart, we know two of them, and the third one we don't know, but lots of us who follow non-league football, we're well aware of Dale Bennett. What were the attributes you were looking for when you signed them?
Certainly all three of them leaders in terms of what they'll be in the dressing room. Right age for us as well, around that 26, 27 mark, which I think is important at this level. Pace in particular with Bennett and Wishart. And then that that strength of character, like I talked about. Clough's got that. Certainly Dale Bennett's got that, and Wish as well. So it was to see if we could strengthen the starting 11 as opposed to strengthen the squad. We had a squad of 22 last year, which we could afford really due to the FA Cup run. A few have left this year, not just because of ability, but we're just trying to make sure that we keep a squad around us of 18 or 19 affordable, because I think that's the word that we've got to still be using. But those three players are the ones that have come in, and we're really happy with our summer business.
And they've all come in the defensive positions. Is that something you must have thought about? I need to improve the defence, or you just saw them available and thought, I want these players because of the attributes you just mentioned? Yeah,
I think, Dan Wishart, you've got to really say that he can play left back or left side midfield. I mean, he made his mark here. We changed him from a winger into a left back. And I think with Dan, he likes to see the ball in front of him. If he's got space to run into, he's probably better than he is sometimes higher up the pitch. So Wish has been brought in really, when you look at our left side, we only had Jamie Collins and Aswood that were genuine left-sided players, as in at a left foot. So Dan Wishart comes in and that balances the left-hand side up for me. And he's got unbelievable pace. And him one side and Bolinara the other, that's a threat in terms of the pace you've got. Dale Bennett, obviously with Louis John having a deserved move to Cambridge, which we're really pleased for him. As soon as we knew that Louis was going to go, he was our number one target. I was aware that he was going to leave Forest Green or had left Forest Green, and he's just someone that I've always admired. I admire his character, admire the way he goes about his football, but he's a winner, and you can't have enough winners in your dressing room. And Cloughie, is a no-brainer for me. Barnett, obviously don't particularly rate him. We do. So it was great to be able to get hold of Charlie, and say all three have sort of committed for 2 years as well, which shows the confidence they've got in coming back to the club. And in Dale's instance, he feels it's the right move for him at this time.
And talking about signings, is that it now, or?
We're looking maybe at one more, but that's only a maybe. Really happy with what we've got. I think we've got flexibility within the squad, certainly in the forward areas. People say you've only got, Tommy Wright and Lafayette, and obviously we'll see whether Duns can pull on his boots again. But you've also got that forward thrust of Beautyman and Josh Taylor, Kieran Cadogan and Bolly, by the way, who can play there. So we're looking at a few things, but there is probably space for one more if we felt it was needed. And
just talking about the squad size, you mentioned wanting to have 18, 19 and affordable. Yeah. We're in 4 competitions this season.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that?
Yeah, looking forward to all of it. I mean, the Iron Brew clubs, I think it's a great competition for us. What people don't realise is I think every week being the same, it can get, training can become a bit samey as well. So for us to be able to sort of go away as a squad for a couple of days, maybe on an away trip, bond, and have some basically off time from training. So players prefer to play as well than they do train. That's for sure. I think that's for every player. But yeah, I mean, listen, I think we're going to be upwards of 60 games this year. Certainly, if you put the pre-season games in, sort of 65. So there's plenty of games to play. I mean, the other route that I've got, and obviously the contacts that we've got, would be using the loan market as and when was necessary, because realistically we've added quality to the squad pre-season. As I said, budget for us is key as well. So if we have to go and get anybody else in, then I can always call in the various favours, and a lot of the loans that we get are relatively free. So stick with the 18 or 19 that we feel we're going to do the job, and if we need to, we can go in for 1 or 2.
And just finally, the pre-season, what are you hoping to achieve with the players? And I know it's kind of a silly question, ambition, you want to win all 4 trophies, and that's what managers want to do, but where do you see ourselves landing up this season in the league?
Well, it's interesting. I did a table last week of where I felt everyone was in terms of their budgets compared to where their league positions would be, and I put us in at about anywhere between 11 and 15. There's about 5 or 6 clubs of our size similar. I think Bromley's, Maidstone's, Aldershot's, that type of club. Dover probably. But you've also got 10 or 11 above us, and there's a top 6 that are probably double or treble what the likes of the rest of us have got. So the realism is you should finish where your budget shows you to finish. So that's between 10 and 14 on your budget table. Our job as a squad and our job within the management is to keep beating that. We beat it last year and beat it comfortably. But you've got to be realistic in this league. It's a league that the first thing you do, I know people say I'm boring, but you've got to get to 52 points first, and then you look at where you can get. So there's no predictions from me apart from if we finished above 10th, then that would be above where our budget would put us. I think the first thing is to make sure we're still in the league again the following year. That might sound depressing to some people, but it's true. But with the squad we've got, you'd need luck as well. You'd need lack of suspensions, you need good discipline. There's no reason why we can't keep achieving good things next year. And you're right, the goals that will be set out this week in pre-season, we'd like to get to the FA Trophy final. That's always been something we'd look at. In other years we've had to forego that almost because we did so well in the league or so well in the FA Cup. So you see where you are in the trophy at a given time. The league, we'd like to hit playoffs. So we're looking, can we get in that top 7? That would be the absolute aim. And the FA Cup, can we get through to the second or third round of the FA Cup? So we're going quite strong again on what the ambitions are. As I said, I think we've recruited well to the starting 11 as well. And there's more to come from the younger ones. We've got some good young players. Josh Taylor back fit, Tommy Wright, hoping for a real big season for Tommy as well. And as I said, the other lad that we're looking at as a possible for coming in is another younger player. So I want to keep pushing the 3 or 4 young ones through. But as I said, if you look at the average age of the squad, I've worked it out, it's bang on 26.7. So that's a good age for this, for this league. With regards to the back 4, I think the goals conceded last year, the column against was probably too high in the end. We'll score goals from all over the pitch. We don't rely on a 20 goal scorer. You've got to be lucky to get one of those anyway, however much you spend. But we'll contribute goals from Taylors and Beautymans and Wrights and Bolinara. I think Bolly got 7 just from coming back. Wish, I think you heard him in the interview earlier saying he's got to score more. Big Cluffy, you want to get 6 or 7 from him, and Jamie Collins is now normal 6, 7. So, we've got that. The depth comes from Beckwiths and Downers. Simon's back, trying to stay fit during pre-season. So we wait to see what happens with Simon. And from my point of view, as I said, we've got competition now all over the park when you look at it.
And just finally, I know you're a huge England fan. What do you think of us in the World Cup? Do you think we can win it?
I think if no is the answer, honest answer, because if you look at what we've done so far, we've played Panama and Tunisia, and we're brilliant in this country at going overboard. So we've beaten Panama so far and Tunisia, but what I've got to say is the team ethic looks brilliant, the spirit looks good. I think Gareth Southgate has done everything by the book so far. I think he's come across superbly. But the test will come not so much tonight, because I think it will be which team wants to lose the most. Because I've got a feeling that anyone wants to be runners-up. You can go on camera and Southgate say, let's be honest, you want to be in the other group, not playing Spain to the semis rather than playing Brazil in the quarterfinals. So we've got a chance if we go through to the other group. I think Brazil still look to me as though they're going to be a very, very tough side to keep out from goals.
Brilliant. Thank you, Paul.
Top man. Cheers.